Hi, my name is Shannon Reed. I am an ADR director for Sentai.
For a Sentai, so you're dubbing like the Japanese version of Power Rangers, like Super Sentai and all that, or
Uh,
specifically anime.
Specifically anime.
Okay.
Sentai is the name of the company.
Oh, okay, okay. I was like, as you can see, I'm a big Power Ranger fan.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Big on the Red Ranger, Gold
Uh,
Ranger is cool. Yeah.
so, Tony was in, and then come to find out that he made his mark on the Power Rangers
Yeah.
series. It's like, oh wow, okay, stories.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I had read about that. It's like, what?
Right. Like, because he mentioned like some of the inaccuracies in the toys that made us and stuff like that. I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
from the source, from the source. So yeah, you do voice act, but your main thing is ADR directing.
Yes, that is my primary job. You may hear me in shows like as like some minor characters here and there, but I am a ADR director, so I direct the shows.
So for those that don't know to educate, so like when you're directing, you're directing just more so as getting a specific speech pattern for the scene or whatnot.
Well, I mean, yes. Like at least as far as my job goes, so when I am working on a show, uh, my involvement is of course, like I have my pre-production where we have a team of translators that translate. We have script writers. I'm a script writer as well. So in pre-production phase, I'm writing and shaping up the script to where to be ready for recording. And then also when it comes to casting choices, I also am uh, the casting director as well.
Mm.
So we go through a series of auditions, and so we bring in different actors to audition for each roles. And so when when I find like the right person for the right role, we lock down the cast, and then we go into, of course, like further down the road, we go into the production phase of like now it's time to record. So and that's when just the director hat comes on. And so like ADR directing is very much just like directing if you were on set for a movie or a television series where it's you and the actor. And
Mm.
so you as a director, you're supposed to know the ins and outs of everything. Any question that could be asked, it is your responsibility to know that answer. And so, when you are communicating with the actor, like we're really breaking down not only like the show as a whole, but scenes, but really, and also the characters. So that way, the actors know and have an understanding of who this character is and where they're going.
Motivation.
Yeah, and so like with every line, delivery choices and stuff, like we're working on these shows from beginning to end. Every line has a purpose and a meaning. There's a reason. The motivation and intensity, just everything behind each line is important, and all of
Mm.
that is reviewed or talked about beforehand.
Because most anime fans that have some idea of the business or whatnot, just like the glamorous voice actors, but it's a team, and like how do we get this
Oh yeah.
talent to this?
It's very much. I don't mean to cut you off. Like, yeah, it is very much a team. You see the voice actors, of course, which each actor does a phenomenal job. Like their job is like very taxing. Like they're doing a lot when they record. And so, but before we get to the recording stage, like you have different departments. Like we have translators, subtitles. We have the production department that creates all of the files and sends it out so that way like different departments can work on different things. Captions, closed
Mm.
captions, that is a department. Translators, where they're like taking the original Japanese scripts and translating it into English to make it, understandable for us. And then of course like script writers and directors, and like everyone is like working art department and everything.
Art department as far as
Yeah, well, as far as like if for this, like if you have releases, like if you release on like Blu-ray or DVD, like there's art department or artwork and stuff.
besides the posters and everything for
Uh,
like the DVDs.
Posters as well, yeah.
Okay.
But it's like it's not just one person. And then in the production phase, like yeah, directors play an important role, but also the big thing is audio engineers. Like that is a very close team right there. So when we're recording and we have an actor in the booth, of course, like me as a director, I'm focusing on the story and the reads and like getting the right tone of everything. And I'm communicating with the actor, and then the audio engineer, they're recording everything, like all the sounds that you hear, the intensity, like they're controlling levels. If we need to project, then the engineer's right there, like preparing, getting everything ready, like all the crisp, clear sound. That's all them.
Hmm.
And then if there's any like errors or in the voice, where it's like if you have vocal fry or you have audio clicks, pops and stuff, like they're the ones that they clean it up, and it's like if you have vocal fry, then they'll pop in like we need to get that again. That wasn't up to par.
Vocal fries and
So vocal fry, that's more of like in your delivery where your voice may sound a little raspy or like it hits a certain delivery where it's like that's let's get that again. Like that didn't come out quite clear. But all of the technical details and things that you hear, the audio engineers are listening out for that because just as much as I do and the actor does, the engineer is there to get the best quality for everything.
clear. It's sort of like when I do I guess like some voiceover stuff and I'm like going into it, I always recite like every word must be heard. So
Hmm.
it's just whether it's low or high, it's just like you need to hear it all.
Yeah, it's everything. Matter of fact, even if let's say you got the perfect take, like the actor just like gave like this perfect line and it was amazing, but when they delivered it, they kind of moved, and it's like, oh well, even though like I may not pick up on it and stuff, like every engineer is like very sharp because it's like, oh well, you went a little off mic, and it's like, you may think, or like sometimes it may seem like something that, oh, I didn't really hear that. It's like, oh no no no, yeah yeah, we need to get that again.
So you got into it, but it's just like this is home. This
Hmm.
is home.
Yeah.
That's interesting with as far as the editing because you edit as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay, because I didn't know just how crucial editing was because like as far as being like with you wherever you start and it's like I'm usually in front of the camera
Mm.
but certain things has forced me to do more stuff behind the
Yeah.
camera. I did this fan film that evolved into a little short and I'm like learning how to stack audio because
Hmm.
when I cleaned it up it wasn't it was recorded low and when other people would listen to us it's like it's a little low. I had to turn it way up just to hear everything. I was like,
Hmm.
oh man, it's just like there's a method to the madness.
Yeah.
So when you mention uh, casting. So,
Yes.
do you typically have a particular actor or actress in mind when going into the project? Or
Uh, no, and every when it comes to casting, like every director is different.
mm,
Um, what I like to do when if I'm starting on a new show and well, first thing you have to do is watch it. And so what I like to do is I like to just binge through the entire thing to just get an understanding, just like what is this? So that's the first watch through. It's like, okay, great. Second watch through, that's when I have my notepad and it's like, all right, let's go through details. And so primarily I focus on the main character or characters, and then you start with the main, then you kind of rewatch looking at supporting and stuff like that. But I like to write down just like where the character arc is going. So
Mm.
just the overall, I have notes on that, and then I go back and then I specifically for each character, where are they at here? What do we need to look out here, here, and here? And also, it's not just in general. It's like per episode, per scene, even where it's like I have bullet points and stuff. So that way, all of the ins and outs, and if there's even like small things that you notice on the way, like this character Shannon, he always kind of slouches and puts his arm on it like this
Mm.
at times and stuff. That may like, and it's a consistent thing for some reason, and it's like, well, most people probably won't notice that or really pay too much attention to, but what's the reason behind that? And so
Okay.
like just kind of writing that down, and then there's some things sometimes you come across subtle things that you can come back to or like focus in on, but every everything big or small, like everything is detail that you need to focus on. So, um, you need to be ready. And if the actor, like if you're recording with the actor, and if the actor has any questions at all, it's the director's responsibility to have that answer and know what's going
Oh, I know.
on.
So do you find it hard because you're a fan of the of anime?
Yeah.
So like when you have to watch these shows or movies, like the to are you already have your
Like
director's hat
geeking
on,
out.
or are you just like I'm a consumer first, and then they're like, okay, now it's time to work. I'm like, all
Um,
right,
well, it's more of like it's more of the worker hat. Um, like when I'm gonna start on a show and it's like, all right, this is the next show, then I'll have a moment like, oh, cool, like yeah, and it's really like along that lines. It's like nice, and then when I finally start working on it, like and doing my research and watching it, then it's all serious because it's like, what's the story?
mm,
I need to pinpoint the details, like what's the plot, what's the subplots, what's everything that's happening, the ins and outs, and it's like it shifts really into that mode and stuff because it's like, you know, for me, like I really like to know as much information about a show as possible, which that goes into like I just said, you want to have the answers for anyone who comes into the booth, and so it's really just like dissecting every show and then getting everything that I need. And then, once like I have an understanding, I know what's going on and stuff, and then we go into the process of like finding the right voice. It's like, okay, well, we've gone to like another layer here of like, all right, now we can focus on this. Okay, now we can focus on this. And so, but yeah, it's really just I go in serious mode, and then like for Saint Seiya, like I did have a moment was like, oh, cool. But then as soon as like I started, it's like, all right, we need to break this down because it's each show is important, and the big thing is that whatever you're working on, there is a fan of the show. So it's like you have to get into that serious mode because it's like anything that I do, everything that I do, I want to make sure that it's the best that it can be. And like I don't want to mess this show up for anyone because
right.
like I know what it's like to be a huge fan of something. Like there are things in shows and stuff that I am like a huge fan of. And like I would be horrified if the person or people, managing that franchise or show or whatever, if they were like not taking it seriously, like I would be worried. So, you got to go in with that attitude like, no, I'm gonna be serious and I'm gonna make sure that I deliver the best show possible and stuff. And like I never want to disappoint any fans.
It will crucify.
But yeah, but it's all serious like going in. Like I may have a moment like, oh, nice, and then once we start, it's all business.
See, I haven't watched Saint Seiya yet, and I heard
It's a
it's a
long
really
one.
good shonen jump type of series. Like, so much on the watch list. Typically, what types of anime do you watch
Well, I
as a fan?
I I do like isekai.
Same.
Huge on mecha. Um, Shonen jumps are pretty cool to me. So along along those lines, as far as working on stuff, I will say it's sometimes kind of nice to work on a slice of life. However, just watching it, I'm probably not the guy because it is like there is a calmness when you're working on a slice of life. It's like, yeah, okay, we're gonna do this, this, and this. We're gonna focus on this, this, and this. But as far as like once it's done and out, then as far as me just sitting down and just watching a slice of life, like I'm probably gonna no, no, something more. Give me something more intense.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wanted to ask this question to another voice actor who worked on Gundam, and I was going to go a little deep. So do you watch Gundam? Is that part of the
I
mech? Uh,
it is. I'm not caught up on like the most recent stuff, but like Gundam Wing, Gundam 00 was my jam.
mm,
Uh, so
Toonami, big Toonami fan.
you know,
Sweet. Like look, when it comes to just a little off, I couldn't place my finger on it like when I would watch like the Gundam series, just
mhm,
like any type of Gundam, and I would find myself becoming more emotionally invested in it
mhm,
versus any other because I really like I'm not a huge mech fan.
yeah,
I like martial arts.
yeah,
It's definitely the isekai, and it's just like I was talking to a friend of mine, and it's just like it seemed like the depiction of war
mm,
in Gundam, and a buddy of mine just mentioned it's like these two factions are fighting each other,
yeah,
like each viewing each other as the villain, but like war is the true villain.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, like okay, didn't think about that.
It's heavy.
Yeah. Man, I'm trying to remember. I was um did you watch what was it? I think it was G Gundam, and G Gundam is like kind of controversial. Like G Gundam, what? But I just remember this one episode, and they were like supposedly dead, and I was like I really felt heartbroken on this. I was like, they got me,
Yeah.
they got me. Like you really mean?
That's heavy.
I know, right? So as far as people that are trying to inspire and trying to get into the business and
Yeah.
all this and that, uh, how should they go about it, and what are some of the new projects that's coming down the pipe for you?
Gotcha. So as far as if you're trying to make it in the anime industry, or really just like voiceover in general, uh, one, and it may sound cheesy, but yes, like have that passion and drive. Like I don't want to be like the guy like if you do your best and just work hard, because that's pretty broad on a scale, and it's like you know, and go for it. But yes, of course, yeah, you want to strive, do your best, work hard, yes. But as far as like getting started, one, I think, yeah, voice acting is great and wonderful, but it is very much acting. If there is a like theater classes or any type of acting classes, I would say sign up and apply for an acting class because you want to have training. Like it's not, I know like I've come across a lot of people that say like I can just do it, I can do that, but it's like no, like, and that's fine. Like you may be wonderful, but it's always good to have a foundation and learn like the basic fundamentals of acting, because really just in general, and it applies to not only acting but for anything. You never stop learning. You want to soak up as much as you can. So don't just bust in there being like, well, I just know everything. Like, no, like, get the basics down. And if you're wonderful at the basics, great. Just keep gathering that knowledge. But next after that, you want to get yourself a demo reel between a minute 30 seconds, little snippets, and of your voice. It's cool to portray and try to act like characters that you're fans of, but put down your voice. What do you sound like? So get that going. and have yourself an audio reel, and that's a start.
Good stuff. I haven't really been hearing the reel.
Mhm.
Like, okay, okay.
All right.